Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hello, Andy. This is Colin. I won't be able to get in tonight. I'm sweating like a pig.
So, still David, still One Up Gaming, still episode 387. We're going to go through the games played this week. So, there will be a few games played. I think 7 played this week. So, as always, games inspired music available now. Please buy that or rent that, and 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. Also, get our first 100 podcasts available from audiobooksontape.com, and £1 of each sale will go to the Diabetes UK charity. So we'd just like to announce that yes, we did give away the EA Sports FC24 code last week. I emailed him to say he's got the code, and he's emailed back saying thank you, and that is it. If you did win the code, it'd be great if you could send a picture on our X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, just saying thank you for the game. Our Twitter is @OUG official, so that'd be great to hear from you there. Other than that, let's get into the games played this week. So first of all, Palworld. Now, first of all, I heard this is a very similar game to like the Pokemon sort of games, and I can see where they're coming from if you're watching still pictures, because the pals do look like Pokemon, but the game itself is completely different. It is a third person survival game, and the little pals that you collect and basically conquer, they are just animals that you set them to do your bidding. So like you create machines and stuff, and you can set your pals to work on the machines. If you're getting hungry in game, you can cook one of your pals and eat them. So they are just animals, but they're cute little animals. It played okay, but I've never liked any of the survival sort of like games, and this unfortunately is just like one of them. It's just not my sort of game. I guess graphically it looks nice, nothing great, but it looks nice, and it just plays well. It really does play well, but graphics need to be improved, the performance needs to be improved, and it's just, I don't know, I can see there is a good thing there underneath the surface, but I just feel as though sometimes when you're playing the game, it stutters, it freezes, it crashes. It looks very simple, but there is an underlining fun factor there, and sometimes in these sort of games, when fun is happening, then the game is fun. And yeah, it's a great, nice little game to play. If you like survival sort of games, then I would say that this is one of the better games in the genre, and I would say that it's worth persevering with some of the technical issues, and hopefully because it's like one of the most played games on Steam at the minute, and it's just great. It is really great. So the next game that we played is called Thirsty Suitors. Now, I'd never heard of this game, but I think I got it sent to review, and downloaded it, started playing it, and it's like, it's weird. And it's, imagine Scott Pilgrim sort of story, and it's like you're a female as your main character, and you are coming back to your old town. It is massively over the top. You're talking to an imaginary friend who is the image of your sister, because you don't talk to your sister anymore, so you imagined what it's like talking to someone, and all your old boyfriends and girlfriends are there to try to destroy you. So it is very similar to the concept of like Scott Pilgrim, that kind of thing, and it is massively over the top, massively fun and stupid, and that is the perfect way to play these sort of games. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little game. It's like a turn-based action strategy game with like the Walking Dead sort of Telltale games where you just sit and watch people talking and you have actions and say conversations, you move it along and try to get things how you want it to go. Graphically, it's bright, bold, colourful, very amazing. I loved it. It's one of the better games I've played for a very long time. It's very slow, but it's one of those games that's quite slow to get into, but when you do get into it, you really feel for these characters and people. And yeah, it is one of the better games I've played for a very, very long time. So, Thirsty Suitors is amazing. Next up, a complete turnaround of styles, and that is In Sound Mind. And when you see the little tiny, like, the art cover for the game, you know, on the screen, you think, oh, it's going to be a similar sort of game to Thirsty Suitors, where it's going to be like colourful, mad, bold, but no. It's a very dark, it's a very weird first-person puzzle sort of game, where things appear out of nowhere, things flash in and flash out, enemies pop in, pop out. It's all there to make you think you're going crazy, so you're going, you know, you're losing, you're getting delusional, things are happening, and it seemed fun. It was a very, very low budgety sort of game, so bear that in mind. But if you enjoy crazy things happening, lights flickering, music and sound just coming out of nowhere, then this is a nice game, and I would recommend it for that. But like Palworld, it's just not my sort of game as a whole, so yeah, I wouldn't persevere with it any further, to be honest. So, next up, I don't know if it's called HELLCARD, Book of Demons, or Book of Demons HELLCARD, but anyway, if I just call it HELLCARD, it's a card battling game, but you have characters in the middle of the screen with enemies surrounding you, and you use cards from each individual person in your team to try to push the enemy away from your people and to kill them. I quite enjoyed the concept, I quite enjoyed the way the game played. I unfortunately just don't really like card battling games. I've never liked any of the card sort of games. So yeah, from what I played, it is one of the better games. I didn't quite get into the full gist of the whole thing, but I will say Book of Demons HELLCARD, if you're into card battling sort of games, give it a go. It looked nice, it played nice, and I was having fun, and that's the main thing you can say about some of these games. So next up, a rather random, weird game, and that is World of Art, Learn with the Jigsaw Puzzles. Yeah, that just sounds weird, but it's a nice little jigsaw game. You can have any of the art on the game and choose between, like, say, I can't remember, 12, 24, 50 odd, 70 odd, you know, pieces of puzzles to try and get these things. It times you to see how long it takes you to do things, gets sort of points and things. I really found it really soothing, really relaxing. I do like a good jigsaw game, or even just jigsaws in real life. So for me, I really enjoyed it. Get the outlines first, the edges, then fill in the middle. Fun little game. World of Art, Learn with Jigsaws. I really enjoyed that. Next up, we have SpaceKraft. Craft with a K, all one word. And this one, I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was like a building, sort of like Minecrafty sort of game from the titles and from what I'd heard of it. But when I actually started playing it, it seemed very much like an old 1980s, 1990s style 2D side. Was it called Thrust? Where you controlled the thrust of your little triangle, and you just moved left and right to try and move along the level and land. And it was a very complicated physics sort of system in place. So different graphics, different worlds would have different gravitational pulls and fields, and that is very similar to this sort of game, but it's not like triangle graphics, and I guess they were like there were sort of like polygons, but they were like little triangles in place, whereas this is it looks like a 2D sprite, full rotational craft. The world is like small, and it's like on a little imagine a sphere, and you just sort of go around the outer edges of the world, and the world sort of like spins around as you go in. It's a nice looking little game. Again, it's a very low budget game. I quite enjoyed it. You have to rescue people, you have to pick up things, you have to move like bits and bobs back into place and turn powers on and all that kind of stuff. So it is a very old-fashioned style game mixed with a bit more modernness to keep it going a bit more. But I don't know, I just felt it was alright. It was fun. It was a nice little game. I wouldn't again play it again. I just felt as though there was certain things that like it bugged out a little bit. I got lost on the outside of a wall, and it wouldn't let me back in, so I had to restart the whole level again. But SpaceKraft, nice looking game, nice playing game, very methodical sort of game to play. So if you are into that style of game, then I'd say it's a fun little game. It can be quite hard, and it can be quite annoying at the same time. But also, one more go, I think, oh, I just messed it up that little bit. I can do it. So yeah, SpaceKraft. See what you think. And the last game that we played this week is called Genie Reprise, and this game is a first-person puzzle walking sort of simulatory game, and with this you walk into an environment and you can see lights, you know, from the floor that shoot up into the sky. You walk over to that, stand in the middle, and then it fills in a bit of the story. Then you see another light in the sky, you walk over to it, stand in it, and it fills in more story. So it's just like a very simple gameplay, nice graphics, and then it just carries on the story. And it wasn't my sort of game. I was very bored with the story, with how the game worked. But I can understand some of these games you can just sit and watch, and it would be that sort of game for this. So Genie Reprise, graphically really nice. I just don't think it was the best sort of thing played this week. I will say this week the best game played is Thirsty Suitors. So that is the game of the week for me. So great game there, guys. I have to just mention that I'm still watching The Last Ship. I got through season 1 and I'm halfway through season 2 now, and it's a great change of pace. First season they're on the last ship through the whole season trying to find the cure. The final episode of season 1 they get the cure and go back to the United States to see what's happening, and then from there on they have the cure. The United States has gone to shit, the president's dead, the person who was in charge has gone mental and with power, so she tries to take over all of the I don't want to go too far into it. It's a great little series. So far it's been really good, and we'll see where this goes. We'll keep talking about it every now and again. So episode 387, Yeah.